So I think this is probably one of the most important chakras in our entire body, especially as women. And for the times that we're heading into, I think it's going to be the one that you go back to over and over and over again, because there is so much within our womb space that is clearing, releasing, and opening and empowering. And it's the chakra that actually, your whole entire body is fueled through. So in the chakra journey that we're doing, we are going from the root to the seventh chakra, which are what we consider the personal chakras. These are your personal individual energy centers that are essential for your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body. And then as we go further up into our chakras, when we go 8th through 13th, we're talking more about spiritual bodies and your soul path and kind of more of those esoteric spiritual concepts. But in order to really understand your spiritual bodies, you have to understand those personal bodies. So if that makes sense. So where we're going with these personal chakras is more about your individual energy centers, how they operate, what's going on within you, and how to build a solid foundation so that you can hold spiritual energy in the later chakras. I think a lot of times people want to jump from the root or they want to skip the root and just go straight into like, oh, let me know my spiritual guides, my ancestors, my this, my that. But if you don't know yourself, it's almost impossible to really connect to those higher energies, because there are also trickster spirits that we talked about last time. There's those like demonic, as they call them, or lower entities that can mimic spirits that you want to communicate with. And so this is why when we go into those personal chakras, it's really about getting to know yourself, how your energy systems work, what is the trauma, what is the healing, and getting to know you, right? And then as you evolve, as you get to know yourself, then you start to understand how spirits communicate with you, what spirits are communicating with you, and that kind of thing. So these are very important chakras. And the second chakra in particular is very important because this is where we store our energy for our entire system. So when you feel drained, tired, out of your like in an emotional state, we're going to talk about the difference between emotion and feelings. It's because your second chakra is depleted. And a lot of things go on in this second chakra that are issues between control and flow. So as we go through this journey, I want you to think about that. Is this control or is this flow? And so you'll know the difference between when I'm in a controlling state and what are those emotions and feelings attached to control versus what are those emotions and feelings connected to flow, right? There's going to be a different energy. And the biggest energy that you can think about is, do I feel light or heavy? And we're not talking about like physical weight, we're talking about energetic weight. You know how sometimes you feel much lighter than other times, right? And that's what you want to start looking at when we're looking at this second chakra is, do I feel light or heavy? And especially when you're around certain places, like when you go to different places, all of a sudden you just feel like heaviness, or around certain people can do that. Even certain environments that you may walk into, like a doctor's office or a meeting at work, or there's a lot of different things. And when you're an empath, because this is the center that holds clairsentience or clear knowing, this is going to be a place where when you know and you're in your knowing, everything is clear. When you're foggy, it means there's some kind of battle going on between your knowing, that clear knowing, and like your emotions. And see, emotions are what clouds your clear knowing. You'll notice that real quickly. Like if you're about to make a decision and then all of a sudden you're like, yes, your clear knowing will say, I have to do this, but then your emotion might come in, and the emotion is usually like something around fear. Right?